classroom, what teachers thought was important to put in place in the classroom, what they're, what they're noticing, what they
Yeah.
need in that classroom, and collective bargaining got rid of that ability of teachers to actually have some kind of control of what happens in that school.
Yeah, and that's the demoralizing attack is that when you take away that and authority is the wrong word, but it's more of being in there, being part of the decision making. Teachers are leaders. When you take away their ability to make decisions, to make judgments, to use their professional knowledge, which is what you're saying. And so collective bargaining said, teachers, we don't care what you think. We'll
Hmm.
tell you what you're going to do. Well, these are people with master's degrees and things like that. And you're saying your job is to sit there, follow the
Yeah.
script, shut up, and do what you're told. Guess what? A lot of smart people say, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. And that's why I said the teacher shortage is actually a manufactured exodus it's working beautifully. You
It
have
is. Yeah.
demoralized our teachers to a point where there are more teachers certified not teaching because of the conditions of what it means to be a teacher. So this isn't a shortage. This is an executed routing of qualified professional people out of the profession.
Well, the sad part, because Republicans want to privatize school and have school
Yeah.
choice statewide, they want to vilify public school teachers.
Yes.
That's the whole point. And then they have been doing that over the last 10 years. So now we have technology stepping in. We have TikTok, we have distractions on their phones, and kids are getting a little out of hand, unruly.
Mm.
The parents are unaware of it, and they don't want to hear it from the teachers, and they don't believe the teachers. They want control over those teachers. It's all coming to a head at this point.
Mm. It is, and boy, I don't think I would do it after I just heard what you said there, John. My goodness.
I'm sorry.
Maybe,
Oh,
maybe
thanks,
I
thanks for the pep talk, man.
wow.
You better get out of the profession, my man.
Well,
Oh,
that brings up the next question about is homeschooling on the rise? I think about homeschooling during the pandemic,
Yeah.
right.
and a lot of that kind of took off then. And is homeschooling more of an option for some parents and
I think
kids?
you're right, Gordy. Actually, yes, there has been an increase in homeschooling, and there is a pretty good connection to coming out of the pandemic, where actually some parents realized, and I would agree with them, that the conditions for quote, virtual learning during the pandemic weren't that great. And that some of what they saw, maybe a teacher getting on YouTube and kind of trying to get kids to pay attention wasn't the best educational experience. And some parents went, you know what, we can do this better ourselves until the
Mhm.
pandemic's over. And some of those parents have actually continued to do that. So there is this move, because remember when the pandemic hit, nobody was ready to go to a totally virtually school setting. We didn't know what we were doing. We were doing the best we could, and there were situations where it wasn't the best experience for kids. And if you were a family, particularly if you had means and the ability, you could provide a better educational experience for your kids during the pandemic. And some of that has really turned into then this length of homeschooling.
We're talking to Dr. Tim Slekar from BustED Pencils. We will continue the conversation. You can jump in 608-879-8255. That's 879-TALK.
Or text us.
Call us or text us on the Civic Media app. Back with more after this.
I realized I forgot to start the social media stream until like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, nice going.
Oh well.
That's why no one was responding to us.
I was so
except for
occupied
Sherry.
thinking about your new mix of the song. I guess that I forgot it.
Yeah. We'll have to promo that the next hour.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So on the higher education, you guys see that recognizing the taking the endowments of private institutions and
I thought
creating.
that was one of the most important elements of this whole thing. I mean, that takes everything away from. In fact, that's going to be the dumbing down of America.
Now, what is
Yeah.
this? What, the endowment?
So if we
explain that to me.
I'll make it as easy as I can. So
Please.
if we find that you Gordy did not get into a school from a diversity, equity, and inclusion. In other words, because, you know, some minority student took the place that you
Right.
didn't get. Well,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna find that, and that's gonna be illegal because that's racism. And to compensate you, Gordy, for the pain of not getting into the tech college that you didn't get into, we're
Right.
going to take the endowment of private universities and create a fund to compensate you for your pain and suffering.
Oh, great.
That's right. Yeah. And you'll
Sounds
be
like a
able
good
to
deal.
go online and
Yeah.
go to Trump University.
You
No,
go-
it's true.
exactly.
It's true.
Is
It's
it?
true. No, he's going to have a free online college
Free online.
where you can get a degree.
I can't wait.
No,
Okay,
no,
let's get to that.
do you think
let's get to
Harvard's
that
going
next.
to give up that endowment?
Hey, Sam, could you
Yeah.
can you overlap our screen here?
Yeah.
I know it's a pain in the ass, but you don't want us to mess with it.
We don't know how to work the mouse. I don't know what you're doing. You just shorten the box. That's all.
Okay.
I could have done that. All right,
Did
you-
we get another
you know, you could have
comment?
asked
We got
me
a
to
comment
do
on
that.
Streamline?
5 seconds.
No.
Oh.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
92.7 WMPX. John and Gordy in the morning with Busted Pencils. Tim Slekar is with us.
He's
And,
educating us.
We're talking about the the end of the Department of Education in some way, shape, or form. But still, he's going to do all these things that need a department of some sort
Yes.
anyway. And we're talking about things that are being taken away and things that will be added. And one of them is they're trying to take away the ability of the Department of Education to give
Endowments?
endowments, but also I think what they want to do is they also want to get rid of the funding for the student loan programs,
Yeah.
right, and the grants that they also provide.
I'm okay with doing away with the student loan program if you truly mean you're doing away with it and letting me off the hook. I'm grateful,
Well, that
President
way,
Trump.
yes, we
Yeah,
could do
I mean,
that.
I'm like, you know what? Dismantle the whole student loan program, dude. I am with you 100%. Because anyway, but no, and the endowment thing that you're talking about this, and try to recognize what they're saying here is that institutions have funds of money they sit on, endowments, whether you want to talk about this. And
Mhm.
the best way to explain this is the attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so, an example, when you apply to get into college, there are considerations that they give as to, your GPA, your family income. And over the past 20, 25 years, there's been, yes, some race conscious decisions about who gets admitted into college. Over the last few years, we've seen a real attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion, even the Supreme Court striking down the ability to make decisions based on race for allowing people to get into school above this. So the reality is here. So will minority students get more access to education than white students? And under the current ruling of the Supreme Court, that's illegal. So what Trump's saying, though, is that, hey, in colleges, we mean it. If we find out that you've made admissions decisions using race-based decision making, we're going to get you. And the way we're going to get you is we're going to take the money from your endowment and we're going to take that into the non-Department of Education that doesn't exist. And we're going to put this into a bank account and we're going to fund your pain and suffering for not getting into the school that you wanted to get into. But then you'll have free access to this new education that is going to be put on by the federal government. And again, none of this is going to have any oversight because we don't have any Department of Education, though. Anyway,
There you go.
right? But
Yep.
so think about this. But yeah, it's this threat. It's a threat to
Mhm.
colleges that if you do not comply, we're going to take your money away. And with that, we're going to take those students who you harmed. We're going to give them a free education and we're going to compensate them for pain and sufferings. You start to think about this. What are the implications then of an institution that has made decisions to create access to their education for all kinds of reasons why we
Yes,
allow
yeah.
certain students, but no longer can you make that decision because out of fear that your endowment will be taken away by the federal government.
Exactly.
This is frightening.
It is, and it's the return of Trump College is what it is. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You think
Eh,
about looking at that.
But also, when the point is here that what we're looking at is doing stuff online.
Mm.
And we know that doing stuff online isn't the best way to learn. It's been proven over and over again that online courses and classes uh, just aren't as good as being in a school or in a classroom, for that matter. And now we're looking at possibly doing away with these grants, or at least threatening people. And what about the people actually providing the grants? I mean, not grants, but the
Donations
endowments.
for the endowments.
Yeah.
I see. I think this is where this is more, excuse me, more threat necessarily because there are just too many. Like I was thinking about this. Go to some of your big Ivies. Harvard. Harvard has an endowment that's
Mhm.
crazy. I'm pretty sure that if President Trump says, "Hey, Harvard, you owe us a couple $1 billion from your grant or from your endowment," I'm going to bet that there's some form of a legal arrangement that Harvard will fight it quite rigorous, and they're not going to get any money. But I don't know how you do this. I think so much of it is a threat and a fear, and you get a lot of people to quote change their behavior out of fear. It happens. There will be these decisions where people will say under the fear of something horrible happening,
Right.
they will comply and change their behavior. So this really is a threat. And we were thinking about the 10-point plan that President Trump has for K-12, and I'm actually more frightened by his plans for higher education when I look at
Mhm.
this because he is really gunning for colleges as truly, as you say, the maniac Marxists that are
Right.
in charge of
That's
colleges
exactly.
understand that what they're saying is that college and university creates independent free thinkers. And in our new future, we got to do away with that because we need total cognitive compliance.
Exactly.
That's frightening.
Wow.
That's just
Yeah.
okay.
I know, yeah, and and then it leaves it up to the state to provide that kind of funding and the money for those colleges. And already those states are preventing a lot of this funding for colleges. They don't like public education,
They don't like
so
public
that's
ed-
already happening. So this just makes it worse, doubles down on it.
Dr.
I
Tim
will-
Slekar, we are just
All
about out of time.
Okay.
Want to
Give you
remind
one little-
everybody.
Yeah, one
Go-
little thing. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go
One
ahead.
little other projection. Department of Education could be combined into the Department of Labor in this idea of workforce. In fact, in the state of Ohio, where I'm at right now, the Department of Education was merged in a new Department of Workforce and Education.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow. Dr. Tim,
I don't
thanks
even
for
know what
joining
to
us.
think about that.
Their podcast, the BustED Pencils, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, also Saturdays on the Civic Media Network. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Dave.
Back
Thank
with
you.
more right around the corner.
John and Gordy Show.
Yeah.
That was good, man. I know
So-
it's exhausting, and we have yet to find out how any of this is going to turn out.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm just really thinking of I really do think this Ryan Walters, I think there's a really good chance that he will be named
Yeah,
the Secretary
yeah.
of Education and his job will be they'll present it as he's going to be the one to get rid of the Department of Education. But I
Mhm.
can also see this other part though too of taking the Department of Education and merging it with the Department of Labor because that is what they're doing because they're saying education is not about liberating critical citizens. Education is about preparing you to do your damn job. It's workforce.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This is
Yeah.
a complete corporate takeover
Yeah.
of our society.
yeah.
The billionaires heirs are in charge. That's what it's all about.
Wow.
And of course they're going to make money doing it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
find a way to do that. All right, Tim.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Yep.
See ya.
transmitted by wire.
Here is the latest news brought into your own living room.
You'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Talk is cheap.
Gib. Always gossiping.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
This is High Five Plus.
And that's the way it is.
We'll do it live.
On 92.7 FM, WMDX. Take it away, boys.
7 a.m. comes too fast. Roll out of the bed with that alarm clock.
Oh, yeah.
92.7 WMDX.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
It is.
Yeah. It's rainy out there this morning. If you peeked outside the window, it's wet out there, and you might want to slow down. Some of the roads may be a little bit slick this time of year with the rain coming down.
Take the corners too fast.
Too fast. Just slow down.
Right.
What's your hurry? Yeah. So showers on this morning. Grab that umbrella before you walk out the yard.
Guy does it.
Oh, somebody just did a U-turn in the middle of State Street. That's good. You get 10 points for that one.
He heard us. He was testing it out.
Street department guy.
I'm curious, what's the craziest thing that you've ever seen somebody do with a car in State Street?
On State Street?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
The crazy driving happens on the interstate. That's the stretch between Madison and the Dells, or north of the Dells.
You just reminded me of a story. What year were you driving into work one time in Sun Prairie, and you lost a wheel on the belt line? When did that happen?
That was probably about 1988.
That's quite the story. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah,
else.
what was that car? I think it was a Buick. It was one of those big cars, and it was a junker. I was driving and going about 65, 70, and my left front wheel went off. I was in the far right hand lane. The car went all the way across 3 or 4 lanes to the left side, just missed the wall off the the edge of the road. And of course, this is before cell phones. So no way to call John and say, "Hey, I'm not going to come in for a while." But I was just stuck there for because it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, whenever it was. Yeah, just had to wait until.
How long did it take?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And, cop came up.
Yeah, not too bad at that point.
So we'll call you a tow truck.
You got lucky.
Yeah. I was lucky because there was traffic. I mean, even at that hour of the morning, there's traffic, trucks and everything.
And you got no control whatsoever.
None. Went right down to the axle. So I saw the wheel going. Like, that's trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no steering. Just, my God.
Probably, one of the scariest sights ever. You see that on the side of the highway every once in a while, and your heart just drops.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not a good thing.
Oh, you don't want to see that happen.
Anyway,
well, my heart dropped, with our conversation with Dr. Tim Slekar. Wow.
That Department of Education.
This is a disaster. Not just Matt Gaetz, but just getting rid of the Department of Education just drives me absolutely insane.
Yeah. It just can't happen. It's not really. I don't know. So what's the deal with our phones? Are our phones working or not working?
The phones are working,
okay.
But when people call in and they're sitting on hold, they don't hear you. They're hearing Up North News.
Really?
It's at the top of the engineers list to fix today. I sent them a couple of emails, and they sent back a passive-aggressive one saying, "All right, we'll get around to it."
Okay, so people can still call in.
Yeah, they can.
But
still
just
call
don't
us.
be scared that you're not listening to the John and Gordy show. You're listening.
I'm scared. It's not John and Gordy on the line. What am I going to do?
You're calling the right number.
Right.
It's just the different show that you're hearing on the phone. So 608-879-8255, or you can text us. That's working just fine. 879-TALK.
It
Use
always
the Civic
works,
Media
you bet.
app. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to I guess the Matt Gaetz thing, right?
Yeah. By the way,
what do you want to talk?
Nick Ramos is going to be joining us from the Wisconsin Democracy Committee campaign. Okay, almost got it.
You could just say the WDC or something.
Okay, because I can't remember. No, I'm not good with remembering initials, acronyms. I have no idea.
I don't know them either.
Throw acronyms out. I get completely lost. Yeah. Anyway, Nick Ramos will join us about 7:35. Okay.
All right. Matt Gaetz, Attorney General.
That's not going to happen.
With all the crazy stuff that's going on, all the crazy people being put in charge of certain departments. for some reason, Matt Gaetz just tipped over the edge, tipped everybody over the edge. This is it. This is the worst possible thing that could ever happen.
Okay.
And it is the worst possible thing that could ever happen.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And they're thinking he's not going to get approved. People don't want this crazy man involved in anything, right?
Right.
So,
hey, we got a couple of calls.
oh, we do.
Yeah, as soon as we mentioned that the phones were still working, they
Actually
started
working.
rolling in.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've got Dick and Mark on the line, so let's start off with Dick at the top of the list here.
Okay.
All right, Dick, go
Dick,
ahead.
good
What do you
morning.
got for us?
Go ahead.
Well, so Joe Biden weaponized the Attorney General's office, right? Even though they went after his son and all these different things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, this is nothing could scare me anymore now after this is so unbelievable. But could this be his I was reminded something from Roman times yesterday about Caligula trying to get his horse into the Senate.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't want to go any further with that because there'll probably be people knocking at my door.
Right.
Because we know what happened to him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's about as absurd.
Yeah.
It really is. There's nothing like the appointment process for the Trump administration. I mean, this is endless humor. I suppose the Daily Show is going to have a really good time with this.
Oh,
stuff.
I imagine
they've
so.
already started.
Yeah.
I have a few cuts that we could play if we get the time.
Okay.
But Dick, thanks for calling. All right.
Shall we continue down the line here? Mark is on the phone this morning with a question or a comment. Good morning, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see where Matt Gaetz has resigned, and that 2 days before the release of the report on his misconduct, and I think they should still just release the report of his misconduct because that's something the American people should know about for our Attorney General nominee. I mean, and of course, little Mikey Johnson will probably not do anything about it, and he'll say, well, we got to protect Matt Gaetz. It's against policy to release it because he's no longer in Congress, and here.
Well, they're going to release the House Ethics Committee's report, aren't they?
There might be some doubt on that. I mean, that's a debate now. That's something I just saw, and I think they certainly should release it because his resignation probably means that it's bad.
Yeah.
And it probably doesn't matter to Trump that it's really bad or not because that Trump is probably sad he wasn't there. With Matt Gaetz, hitting on the young women
right.
that Matt Gaetz undoubtedly was doing. I mean, it is just a cavalcade of, I think, for some of Trump's picks, I think adulterer is one of the qualifications that he decided that's what he wanted to have.
Well, one reporter reported this, Matt Gaetz' conversation with Trump on Trump Force One this morning, yesterday, I guess, had a major role in getting him named for AG this afternoon. People inside Trump's operation tell this reporter that the transition team started vetting AG candidates way before the election, and Gaetz came out of left field for great planning.
Yeah.
Great planning. It was probably an impulse hire.
Maybe so.
It's just sad.
It is.
It is just intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard. I mean that.
Yeah.
No experience and loyalty to Donald Trump, and that's what we had. That's what Hitler had.
Was she ever on the terror watch list for some reason? I know that she has worked with Russia, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that. Well, I mean Jill Stein's campaign was fun. It occurs to me that good old Hovde is complaining about the Democrats funded some Phil Anderson or whatever it was, and Jill Stein was being funded by Russia. I mean
was Gabbard in that group, that committee group that went to Russia? Was I wonder if she was with them? I can't remember.
With Ron Johnson and all the other ones. And,
right.
And who knows what?
And Jill Stein. Yeah.
What Rand Paul ushered over to Russia when he made a little jaunt over to Russia. He may have brought secret communiques from Donald Trump over to Vlad. I mean, we just don't know anymore. And I mean that for the Republican Party to submit themselves to Vlad Putin is just You must be able to see Ronald Reagan's corpse underneath the grave because it's just turned to clear glass because he's been spinning so fast and melted it.
Mark, thanks for
Mark.
painting that picture.
Right.
We appreciate
Thanks
that.
for that. One U.S. History professor added that the clipping sound you heard was all of global allies cutting their cables that connect to the American intelligence network.
Well, yeah. According to The Hill, former National Security Advisor John Bolton is advising, or he's saying that Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii and Matt Gaetz of Florida, those nominees should not appear before the Senate confirmation hearings until they're investigated by the FBI.
Definitely.
I think they were ready to vote on Matt Gaetz' investigation over the next couple of days, but that's why he was named last night in the middle of the night. Yeah.
But with
we'll see what happens with all of that.
Yeah. But with Tulsi Gabbard, it seems this is kind of a crazy pick. According to one reporter said that Tulsi Gabbard in this position, in any position in the White House, is bad news. I've been writing about her for nearly a decade. She is a dangerous far-right Islamophobe. All right, that's just one. And another professor replied, it might as well be signed by a Russian client state. That's basically, she is being accused by a lot of people of being somehow connected to Russia.
Yeah. Bolton said, he had a few more comments here. Of course, he's no fan of Donald Trump anymore. With the announcement of Tulsi Gabbard to the director of intelligence, he's saying that Trump is sending a signal that we've lost our minds when it comes to collecting intelligence. And also, he said that Trump is trying to send a signal to China. And he also, one more comment, this is great.
Sure.
Up until a few hours ago, I would have said that this was the worst cabinet appointment in recent American history. Of course, since Matt Gaetz' nomination, he has clearly taken the lead in that category.
Well, I don't know.
It just gets crazier and crazier, Well, who's next?
Well, I think Hegseth is.
Who?
Well, we'll get to that in just a. Well, we talked about it. The host one of the Fox programs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll talk about him in just a few moments.
All right. 18 minutes past the hour. John and Gordy in the morning, 92.7 WMDX. Oh, Brittany.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Hi.
It's raining.
Woo!
It is. Well, I don't know if it's raining now. Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be. Looks a little wet out there. Maybe
Well,
shiny wet. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely very wet out
Yeah,
there.
it is. I guess it is. Yeah.
Interplanetary weather?
Sure.
Really?
Pick a planet.
Wow.
Or can you get weather from like a moon? Can you determine temperatures
That's
from
what I think we're going to have to start
like
picking on moons.
One of the 12 moons of Jupiter. How many moons do they have up there? Those crazy Jupiterians.
Jupiterians.
Wow. Yeah. It's the Jupiterians.
It works.
10 seconds. Sorry to make you scramble.
Presbyterian.
What? Like.
WMDX. You just love those drum solos.
I love it. Love it.
Wow.
Weather today? Well, let's ask our weather expert, civic media meteorologist,
all right,
Brittany Merlot. Good morning, Brittany. How are you?
I'm pretty good. The rain has wound down here in Wausau, but it looks like it's still hitting you guys, huh?
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're getting some showers right now, but I'm hearing that we're not having any thunderstorms, just rain this morning, and then that's moving out, right?
Oh, yep. It's going to be lightening up, becoming a little bit of drizzle and pushing on out of here, but the clouds are staying, unfortunately. We're going to be stuck under these dreary, overcast, damp skies. And of course, temperatures still comfortable. We will hit the low 50s today, tomorrow, and then the mid 50s as we go into the weekend. So a nice little warm up there, but a lot of clouds do want to stick around. I would say tomorrow is probably the sunniest day out there. And of course, breezy conditions return this weekend as well.
Oh, I love that.
Though.
That's a true fall day. You know?
Isn't it? Yes.
I just love those days.
So how's it looking for Saturday? There's a game at Camp Randall Saturday night as the Badgers host Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
How's the conditions shaping up?
What can we expect?
Well, we are looking at those winds, a little feisty, 20-mile-per-hour winds. It'll be partly cloudy out there. Highs falling. Well, highs will be in the mid-50s, so I'd probably say, what time is this game at? 7?
6:43.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No, I have no idea. Actually,
but it's in the evening, so
it's a kickoff.
Upper 40s to mid-40s, I would dress for.
All
Some
right.
breezy winds.
Dress
so not bad.
Accordingly.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go outside of our atmosphere and out into outer space for a prediction?
I think today's the day.
Interplanetary weather. Okay.
Feels like that kind of day.
Yeah. What do you got for us today?
So I feel like we're running out of planets that we've already talked about. Let's talk about Jupiter's moon. What do you think?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Doesn't Jupiter have several moons?
Well, we're going to average
We're
them
looking
out.
at one right now.
Well, which one?
Good question.
Take your pick.
we
There's
don't-
like
we
20.
don't-
All right, just
I don't know.
Just a random
They
mooning?
can't, they're all moons of the same planet. They can't be that different.
I don't know about
Exactly.
that. Brittany's the expert, Sam.
She knows.
All right.
All right. So what I do know for a fact is that it's negative 260 degrees Fahrenheit at the equator and 370 below zero at the poles. So.
Oh, that seems a little chilly for this time of year. You have to bundle up.
Well, the lack of oxygen.
Right.
The lack of an atmosphere is
That'll
another
do it.
problem.
That'll
my
do it.
goodness. Can't handle it. Can't handle it. Just like next week, too. Did you guys hear about the potential of some snow maybe making it way your way?
Oh, no. What?
Oh, no.
What?
You're holding back the headline
I would
here.
rather have
What's
snow
happening?
than this dreary drizzle that we've had the past
No,
day.
I like this.
Thank you, Sam.
This is kind of scary. I like the Halloween spirit all fall long. Okay. So break the news. What's happening with the snow coming into our area?
All right, so I just have to tell you because it's good time to prep this weekend for it. We're going to have rain rolling in by Monday night. It's going to be all rain through Tuesday. And then by Tuesday night and into Wednesday, that system kind of hits Lake Michigan, drops south. And as it does so, it's going to be pulling in that cold air, and it looks like snow for the entire state on Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, we could be waking up to that white stuff, and it could linger through a good rest of the week, like those scattered showers hanging out. Yeah.
So a lot of snow, a lot of wet snow. Yeah.
It looks like it.
We could all make a
Suppose-
snowman.
Could be wet
As,
snow,
as
right?
opposed to the dry snow.
Yeah,
We could
no,
make a
no.
snowman outside of the station.
This means I got to take the gazebo
That's
down
true.
again. Oh, God.
Well, yeah, I
just-
think it would be
oh,
good to
God.
take that down. The whole thing here is, and it really does come down to that, Gordy,
Yeah.
wet or dry snow. I mean,
That's it.
the wet
be
snow,
white,
we've been
fluffy.
getting that
Yeah.
a lot here in the last couple of years. My snowblowers had a difficult
work out.
time with it, but yeah, you had to make a few adjustments on the snowblower. I understand.
Yeah.
in order for it to work properly. And I didn't know that. My neighbor knew that, and he fixed my snowblower.
I wouldn't have done that.
But here's the thing. What kind of temperatures are we looking at? Because next week, like Monday or Tuesday, only because you got to get the snowblower ready to go. So what's the deal? What kind of weather are we looking at? What kind of temperatures are we looking at? Because I'm going to be working outside getting the damn snowblower all conditioned and ready to go. Go ahead.
Let her talk.
All right. If you're talking the deal in these temperatures are they can change. This is our first storm, right? And it's going to obviously be warm on the front end of it and cold on the back end of it. And we're looking at, them dropping to the upper 20s. So that, of course, is going to bring the wetter snowfall on that wetter side, especially down south.
Okay. All right. Big hot thing now. I saw this at the store.
Yeah.
They have a battery operated snow shovel.
What?
Like that,
What?
huh? Yeah.
What do you mean? Battery operated shovel?
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes, it blows the snow, but it's kind of the size of a snow shovel.
I was going to say, is it like an old steam shovel where you sit on it like a toy and
No,
you
you
scoop
don't
it from here and put it there?
No, you just take it out like a shovel and you just, move it along the sidewalk for, just snowfalls, quick snowfalls.
Does it flip the snow off? Or
Yes,
what?
yeah, it shoots it. It shoots it out.
Well, okay.
Isn't that cool?
Really?
Yeah.
We'll have to check that out. All right.
Well, anyway, it's the hot item this year. So if you're putting a Christmas list together, John Peterson is he likes those battery operated things,
Yeah. Battery operated snow shovel.
in the bedroom and out.
Okay, let's. Brittany, I apologize to
I
John.
thought that's
Thank
why
you.
you were laughing.
It's a family show.
It's a family show.
I know.
Thank you, Brittany.
Oh, you guys are the best. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
Have a great day.
See you later.
Try and talk to you tomorrow. If you
we're
come
here.
back. Okay.
We were talking about what you wear when you sleep,
Yeah.
Now.
Okay. This portion of John and Gordy's show is brought to you by Verlo Mattress of Madison. You can sleep better, you can dream bigger, or you can dream bigger and sleep better, or just sleep till you wake up on a Verlo mattress. They're handcrafted. They're available on Madison's east and west side or online at verlo.com. Coming up, Nick Ramos from that committee.
Right.
It's not it's the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign.
I know.
Yeah, are you just screwing it up on
I am.
purpose now?
Yeah, he's
It's just to mess with
he's
your
just
head.
needling us now.
Yeah. He's coming up right around the corner. John and Gordy in the morning. 92.7 WMDX.
Sounds great.
Are you ready? Get ready.
Come on. As we were saying, it's the John and Gordy Show. John and Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
something going on around my knee? Because it'll be fine if I'm
Morning, Nick.
lying down.
Do you think it's
sitting
the
up.
weather?
All of a sudden, I move it. It's just like, oh man.
I don't think they.
Do you think it's
Hey.
the weather or your?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They're in the zone.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Good morning.
This is the easiest way to do it, man. Yeah.
You guys.
All right.
Well, everybody's kind of glued to their television sets to find out what our administration is going to look like. Oh, God. This is like a ongoing, comedy television show, just watching people's faces, the shocked look on all of the host shows, it's crazy stuff.
It's all the shock and awe and
Yeah.
distracting us from whatever else is going on behind the scenes.
That's right. That's right.
But
yeah.
Nick, you can talk to us about anything you want to talk to.
What's
Wide
what's
open.
on your agenda?
Where do you want us to lead you to?
Yeah.
We're doing a press conference today to start to push back on Hovde's misinformation that he's spewing about our elections. So, I mean, that's something we're talking about.
Good. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can play something and I can finally get to my Hovde story.
Yeah.
So I've got I got a 3-minute and 24-second clip, and this is something that in Milwaukee, Emily Fallon put together. I added a few clips to it as well, but she put something out on it because at first. And the clip starts off with like, we're calling, we're making election integrity bad because we keep calling into question, the elections. So then he starts saying,
From the heart of downtown Madison, live from our State Street studios, The John and Gordy Show on 92.7 WMDX.
It's a wet start this morning on State Street.
Something else.
Looks like the rain is starting to move out a little bit. And cool temperatures, 46 right now, highs in the low 50s.
All right. Let's talk to Nick Ramos from the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign.
Okay. Why don't we talk to him right now?
All right.
Good morning, Nick.
Wow.
How
Man,
you
talk
doing?
about, you guys are the king of introductions, let me tell you.
I know.
Man.
The thing is, Gordy can't remember the name of the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign.
Screw it up every time now.
He forced it off to you then.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I'm just tweaking him.
He's just daring me to start to say it because he knows I'm going to mess it up.
I am.
Wisconsin Democracy Campaign. It's easy.
Man, look at you cook, man. So
See,
you need to have one of those
stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right.
Well, the big thing is you have a conference later this afternoon. Is that
Press
correct?
conference,
A press
yeah.
conference?
Yeah, the reason why I'm not in the studio with you guys right now is because at 10 a.m., which we planned on doing it all outside. So this rain has really put a damper on all of that. But yeah, we're doing a press conference to address Senate candidate Eric Hovde and some of the mis and disinformation he's spreading around our elections. And, it's going to be me, Sam Liebert with All Voting is Local, and then we have Scott Thompson, who is staff counsel at Law Forward. And, I think it's important for us to take some time to really address what Hovde is doing right now when he's not conceding an election that he's lost in, and there's been even bigger margins. He lost by a bigger margin than what Mandela Barnes lost. And what did Mandela do? He called literally the day after and conceded. And now we're going into this whole tailspin with him pretty much sowing seeds of distrust in our democratic process. And I got a lot of feelings towards it, guys. I mean, this guy, it's one of those things we need to be able to trust our elections and be able to, if you lose, you can't just throw every conspiracy theory at the wall and then hope one of them sticks. And yet,
it's amazing stuff. I've got some clips here that we can play. In fact, this is from Emily Fannin, she put this together. She said, Hovde on multiple occasions has said you would accept the results of the election November 4th. Look, I plan to accept the results tomorrow, October 9th. We have to stop every time one side loses an election saying that the election was stolen. And if I lose, I lose. And we got some clips here. Let's play this for him. Cut 68.
68?
68.
Right after 67.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have Hovde's name in it. Are you sure? Are you looking for 86?
Oh, God.
Is your dyslexia kicking?
I don't know. What does cut?
Cut 86, I think, is what you're looking for.
All right.
Many people have been wondering why I have remained quiet since election night.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not
I
it.
believe it.
That is not it. Play 88, please.
And I've said from day one, we got to support and strengthen our election process. So, look, I plan to accept the results of what happens tomorrow. We have to stop every time one side loses an election saying the election was stolen. We have to get confidence in our election process.
Oh, I guess, sure.
And if I lose, I lose. Okay?
Many people have reached out and urged me to contest the election. While I'm deeply concerned, asking for a recount is a serious decision that requires careful consideration. What we do know is that Democrats organized and funded a phony America First candidate. Because of this deception, Leaguer received 28,724 votes. Additionally, Democrats propped up the Libertarian candidate, Phil Anderson, who garnered 42,344 votes to again draw votes away from me. If either of these candidates had not been in the race, the outcome would be different today.
It would have been different.
Is this right and fair to deceive voters? Is this the democratic process we want?
Yes.
Once the final information is available and all options are reviewed, I will announce my decision on how I will proceed.
I will definitely pick myself up and and move on and continue to fight for our wonderful country and state, which is why I got into this whole thing. So, yeah, it's the most painful loss I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. It's not like a session, but I think that's the biggest one we're going to get out of him.
Yeah. That's an amazing lineup of clips. Mm-hmm. He is really one of the worst candidates ever in the history of Wisconsin. And he came this close. I mean, yes, he did lose, and the other candidates took votes away from him. That's how it works, right?
Don't forget, John. Guess we talked about it earlier, whose birthday it is. It's Joe McCarthy's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably the worst candidate in history.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think? What can you do with that?
I mean, guys, it baffles the mind to literally play the tape back and hear all the right things as far as pretty much respecting our election.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I mean, look, I think somebody got in his ear and he said, "Hey, you don't got to take this line down. Don't concede. You know what you said before, but come on." The biggest thing is that he said exactly what we have been saying, that we need to stop, with the big lies and the conspiracy theories. We need to be able to move forward. And what you're doing right now is trying to literally just put your foot into some kid's birthday cake, and you can't be doing that.
It's crazy, man. It really is. And just the fact that he was blaming other candidates for taking votes away. When I heard that, I really did break out laughing. It was just stupid. This guy is the dumbest candidate ever, and that's why I call him the stand-up comedian.
And real quick, God. I don't know how much time I'm balling, but real quick, his whole theory, it hinges on this, again, something that's just not even true. Ballot dumps. He's looking at Milwaukee numbers and how they ended up flipping from him being in the lead to then Tammy being, the person in the lead. And I need people at home to really understand the fact that we had an opportunity to fix this type of like seismic shift that you see overnight when it comes to absentee ballots being counted. But the problem is that there were folks in the Senate, the state Senate here, that wanted these types of moments. They wanted conspiracy theories. So they killed that bill. There was a Monday processing bill that would have allowed election administrators to be able to count the absentee ballots the day before, to start processing them so that we wouldn't have to do this very thing. And yet, he's sitting here making up all these crazy accusations and saying all these things. Dude, you lost. And guess what? Like, it's not as if it was rigged. Like, you got to see a split ticket. You saw President Trump win. You saw you lose. Like, it's okay. Like, these things happen. And like, you don't do this because you are going to impact real people's lives. And people being threatened in these election administrative offices, this is real. Like, so please stop the games and do the right thing with what you said. You said it all in the beginning. You talked about how you would accept the results. Well, be a man of your word and do it then.
Right. And a lot of this stuff, by the way, has been kicked around to the press in Wisconsin for the last 3 or 4 months. He is not connected to the state whatsoever. He has never read a newspaper. He's never listened to the radio. He's not in the state to absorb any of this information. So it just became very obvious from his commentary that he's not tied in with the state at all. So that's where I'm coming from on that.
That's your hot take.
I'm on my soapbox on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nick, thanks for joining us this morning. Good luck with that press conference.
Yeah, what time is the press conference? And where is it?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. outside of the Wisconsin Elections Commission, which is over on West Washington. So not too far away from you fellas.
Right. All right. Well, maybe we can hear you later on.
Okay.
All right. We'll
Very
step
good.
outside and check it out. All right, Nick. Thanks for joining us
Always
this morning.
a pleasure. We'll have you back real soon. That's Nick Ramos from the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign.
All right.
You got it right
Thank
this
you.
time.
Thank you. Right.
Hey.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did that for him, not for me. You know, you're just playing mind games here.
We had a call, but we lost the call.
Where did CJ go?
I don't know. I don't know what CJ wanted to talk about.
Well, their phone, again, if you call in, you'll be put on hold, but you're listening to a different radio program.
We should just get some generic hold music.
Yes.
Like elevator music,
Wouldn't that solve everything all the way up and down the line?
That would irritate every caller. That would be fantastic. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's get to Pete Hegseth.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Okay, this is the weekend Fox News host that's been named the Secretary of Defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this would be cut number 92. We're talking about him because Trump chose him as the Pentagon's private lobbied guy. He's going to be the big guy. We're going to turn to him for the military.
Yeah.
Just incredible stuff. And there is kind of a history with him as well. His history is this. Let me see here. He lobbied Trump during the first White House term to pardon former members of the U.S. Armed Forces accused or convicted of war crimes. So you want to let those war criminals out, including a Navy U.S. By the way, this is something everybody might remember. The Navy SEAL who allegedly gunned down a young girl, an elderly man in Iraq. I mean, it was just horrible, the description of this, but it happened, and he wanted to get these guys off.
Yeah.
That was his request. Let's listen to Hegseth and some of his ideas, what he wants to do to the Department of Defense. Go ahead.
Right. Fox News host and Army veteran Pete Hegseth has been tapped for Defense Secretary, and he has a lot of ideas when it comes to the military.
The dumbest phrase on planet Earth in the military is our diversity is our strength. Well, first of all, you got to fire, you got to fire the chairman of Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, has got to go. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. We should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. So there aren't enough lesbians in San Francisco to man the 82nd Airborne. And in trying to cater to that, they lost the boys from Tennessee and Kentucky and Oklahoma. The traditional dudes who did it because they loved their country, or they wanted the adventure, or they, wanted to try tough things, or they need an up and out of their community, whatever it is. But we let in TikTok where they can trans our kids and they don't trans their kids.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
What kind of commentary is this? Is the guy we're putting in charge of the Department of Defense. It's just mind-boggling.
He's going to come in and start firing generals like day one.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. He's also a very strong advocate and has strong ties to the Christian right, and that will come out.
Yeah,
because they want everybody to adhere to God's will in this.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing. They're setting up TV screens, right, in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And they're reviewing all of these candidates for all these posts on video. What have they done on video? How do they react on screen? That's his big thing.
Yeah.
Do they look good?
He must have looked good on that one.
He's got that slick back hair.
Actually, he didn't. He was very casual. It looked like he was having a beer. Yeah. On January 2021, the Associated Press reported 12 National Guard members had been removed from guarding Biden's inauguration after they were linked to far-right militia groups or found to have posted extremist views online. CBS News reported that the 12 guards include Hegseth.
Oh, boy. And he doesn't wash his hands either.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He doesn't wash his hands.
He brags about that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Coming back with tidbits, odds and ends, leftovers right around the corner. 7:49. John and Gordy, 92.7 WMDX.
administration.
Oh, boy. Hold on tight. Wow. Buckle up.
This is crazy stuff.
It is.
You got to love it.
But John and Gordy are here to hold your hands through the transition.
According to Mark, Hegseth is another serial adulterer.
Yeah.
How does that fit in with the Ten Commandments? Well, you never know. You never know. They'll come up with a reason.
Yeah. You're going to rewrite the Ten Commandments.
By the way, I just got to throw this out there because I think people are starting to go out on a limb and actually saying, I'm done with X, right? And I have to make the transition from X now.
To Blue Sky, right?
Blue Sky.
Or what we're calling Blue Ski.
Blue Ski.
It's not run by
Wisconsin.
Polish people. It's not Blue Ski.
Yeah, but we're in Wisconsin, so we can do
we
that.
can say that. We can
Blue
say
Ski.
that. Blue Ski. I'm having another Blue Ski.
But some amazing amount of people are dropping X.
Yes, they are. Yeah. CNN reported the largest drop in accounts took place.
Yeah.
After all of these announcements. Yeah. Putting Elon in charge of an outside department of government. Outside of government, he's going to make all these decisions. And then my son said he had read that Elon is going to keep us updated on these cuts and what he's thinking of doing on X. So he's going to make some money.
He's going to keep him updated on X.
Yes.
Everybody.
So it's the grift.
It is.
Send you over to X if you want to know what we're doing.
But if you don't,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable
but that's
stuff.
why Blue Sky is really taking off.
Yeah,
apparently.
I wonder if we're going to see a merger of Truth Social and X. I was going to call it Twitter. But.
That's true.
Could be.
But, Blue Sky is kind of nice. The thing with X is, and I do this for my show, is that I bookmark a lot of the stories that I read on there that I really like and I want to get back to. In fact, if I can't play the video because I'm in the middle of something and the family is around, I just bookmark it. Now, Blue Sky doesn't have a bookmark feature, which is driving me absolutely crazy. Can I talk to the owner of that? Can I mention, hey, can you help me out with this?
I don't know who owns it.
Yeah,
I wonder.
I don't
That's
know.
the thing. Who knows how?
Is it the same guy that had Twitter? I'm not sure. I know one of.
I'm not sure either. Sam's looking it up right now.
It looks like it's a public benefit corporation.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what that all entails, but it's owned by a public benefit corporation.
Public benefit
corporation.
Still a corporation.
Yeah, it's still a corporation. All right.
Okay.
Not a nonprofit exactly.
Right. Okay.
All right. Now we're following.
I've
what's
never
going
heard
on.
that phrase, public benefit corporation.
I might well be wrong about this, but I think Civic Media might be a public benefit corporation.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
I got to check.
I still
on
don't
that.
know what that really means, but okay.
So we won't trash that idea.
All right. We'll look into it and have an answer tomorrow.
All right. Why don't we get to a cut from the Daily Show? And they're taking a look at Trump's right to pick his administration. He's got a right to do that.
Sure,
and
he can
that
do
is,
anything he wants.
Cut 96, and let's listen to it.
Okay.
The question is, who's going to come to the White House and help Trump carry out his glorious agenda? And you know what? The man has won the popular vote. He's earned the right to pick his new team. We owe it to him to hear him out without, nitpicking.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is expected to be tapped as the Secretary of Homeland Security.
I'm sorry. If I could nitpick for just a sec. Kristi Noem for Homeland Security? Are you f***ing kidding me? She's supposed to get the border under control. She couldn't even train her dog. I will say Noem does have experience striking fear in the hearts of terrorists. Wait, I read that wrong. Terriers. Fear in the hearts of terriers. Yeah, sorry. You know what? I said I wouldn't interrupt. So who else is on board? I promise not to nitpick.
The former president also turning to a former House member, Lee Zeldin of New York, to lead the Environmental Protection Agency.
Okay, just to nitpick for a second here. Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin. Now, the last I remember, he wasn't a big advocate for the environment. You know what? Maybe he has some good ideas.
What are you planning to do at EPA?
We have the ability to pursue energy dominance, to be able to make the United States the artificial intelligence capital of the world, to bring back American jobs to the auto industry. We have the opportunity to roll back regulations that are forcing businesses to be able to struggle.
So the head of the EPA's top priority is protecting the auto industry, boosting artificial intelligence, and boosting business in general. Where's the environment in all this? Does the E in EPA just stand for it? With this. When you look at Trump's cabinet picks so far, they're kind of all over the place. You got mainstream politician Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, far-right weirdo Stephen Miller as Deputy Chief of Staff, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik as UN Ambassador, even though she has no diplomatic experience. I mean, what common thread could there possibly be that would explain why Trump hired all of them?
President Trump risks everything for us. Leading us in this fight will be a man who, although wounded and facing danger, he stood up and raised his fist.
He is the toughest man that I have ever met. Nobody has endured more than what he has gone through.
All right.
Nothing.
A lot of ass kissing. That's
a lot of loyalists there.
Yep.
Okay. We are all out of time for today.
We are.
Boy, it just flew by.
It did.
Tomorrow, Rocker will be in the studio with Max Inc. Preview. Stephanie Miller is coming up next. Keep it right here, 92.7 WMDX.
Will do.
John, have a great day.
You know, you too.
No, Sam, you too.
You more than
no,
me.
Me and you, and
why don't you have a great day?
Have a great day.